Hey everybody, welcome back to the freaking Uncultured podcast. My name is Andy as always, and as usual, I'm joined by my good buddy Chandler. How you doing today, man? How's it going for you?
I'm here. I'm excited. We're having tacos for dinner tonight, so it is a good day, man.
Tacos are always a good thing. Can't go wrong with those.
Dude, no joke, one of my favorite meals ever. One of my favorite foods. They're so diverse. You can do anything with them, put anything on them. Personally, I like putting a little bit of sriracha on mine. So,
Man, I wasn't really into sriracha until here recently. Like I love spicy stuff, but sriracha was something I wasn't a fan of.
let me tell you, there's this one that I don't know if Walmart sells it or not. I think Kroger does, and I know HEB does. It's called rattlesnake sriracha,
Hmm.
and it's actually made here in Texas. It is the best sriracha I've ever had.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first. We're officially becoming a food podcast now, so we're
I
gonna
wouldn't mind doing a foodie episode. That would
we'll have to get together, grill some stuff up, and do it that way, right?
okay. There we go.
I like that
So,
idea. But
yeah,
yeah, so nothing much going on here. Again, just kind of work. I'm looking forward to digging into some more games. The work schedule hopefully is going to start slowing down here soon. It's been a hectic few weeks for me, so I'm excited to start digging into some more games. And we got some big ones coming out. We just had the Xbox showcase. They showed us a whole lot more on South of Midnight. We
hmm
got to see a lot on Doom Dark Ages, and I'm still chomping at the bit for Expedition 33. That's the one I'm
yep.
really excited to see more on.
Did you pre-order the collector's edition for that one? Because I know there's three different editions.
Yep,
So
they just did the GameStop exclusive collector's edition,
okay, yes.
and it lasted less than an hour. Like I didn't even. What's sad is I
Oh,
researched it. I actually searched for it and didn't find it. And then an hour later, I was like, "Oh, hey, it's listed. Let me check it out." And it's already sold out. So I got the Lumiere edition. So I got the
okay.
second tier, but I've got my eye on that big collector's because that's the one I'm really wanting to get.
That stinks, but
I mean,
what can you do?
I've got inside sources. Maybe they can help me get a collector's edition. Who knows? Maybe I'll
I
get
mean, you're not
luckier.
wrong. So,
But that's the one I'm excited to definitely play for sure out of all three of those. I mean, they're all going to be great games, but that's the one I'm ready for.
oh yeah.
So, do you got any more small talk, or do we want to just dig right into this one?
Oh yeah. No, I can do some small talk. So, let's see. I finally have caught up on Black Clover, the anime, not the manga. Sadly, though, there hasn't not been a new episode of Black Clover in 3 years. So
Lord.
I I really hope they go back to it. They stopped because they were catching up to the manga and they wanted to let the manga get ahead. The manga is almost over now, so I hope they're going to revisit because it was getting really good where it left off.
Okay. Man,
So, and then
I need to find a new show to watch.
One Piece.
No. I already know the show I
One
do want
Piece.
to watch if I do actually sit down and watch anime, but I really want to check out MF Ghost.
I don't know
It's
if I've
a
heard of that one.
it's kind of like the spiritual successor to Initial D.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's been kind of the
Okay.
big thing. I think they just finished up the second season, and
Okay.
or they're working on the second season now. I know part 2 is going at this point. And I think they just signed for a season 3 too. So I mean, it's doing something. So, but that's the one I would sit down and watch if I did dig into something.
Okay. Yeah, no, Black Clover was, another longer one. It's 170 episodes. So now I'm watching some smaller stuff to get some variety in there. So I started watching Delicious and Dungeon on Netflix. That one's pretty fun so far. I'm enjoying it.
Delicious and Dungeon.
Yep, Delicious and Dungeon. It's about, dungeon parties that go and raid dungeons, but each episode they cook a new dish.
What
And
the hell?
it's pretty wholesome. It's relaxing, it's charming. I'm enjoying it so far.
All right, that's a weird one, but I'll take your word for it.
You should check it out. Don't just take my word for it.
Fair enough. Well, well, we got a different topic today. We're not talking anime. We actually should talk that at some point.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a much newer taste when it comes to anime for sure. So well that's a whole other topic though. We're still talking video games today though. But we
hmm
want to talk about the indie market now. we've talked a lot about, AAA studios and big titles and things we're excited for coming up in the future. And all of these seem to be bigger AAA, AA kind of games and stuff like that. Let's show the indie studios some love, man. So this episode, we're going to talk about some of our personal favorite indie games of all time. And we've got some heavy hitters here. So unless you have anything else you want to cover, I say we just jump right into it.
Let's get it, man. Let's hear what your first game is.
All right. So I'm going to start out with one. This one is definitely a newer game to the market. I believe this came out a little less than a year ago now. And this one is actually called Balatro. You've already heard me talk about it before. This isn't a new one to the podcast, at least. And if you haven't played this one, I guess enjoy the time while you have, because once you do start playing it, it is literally like a time vampire. You're just going to lose all concept of hours, because I absolutely love this game. I know you've played a little bit of it. Am I wrong there?
I've been playing a little bit of it on my phone, and I enjoy it, but I want to get it on something other than my phone, because I just don't enjoy playing things on my phone that much. I prefer to be on something else. So I do want to pick up a PS5 copy, because they made physical copies at some point. I wouldn't mind getting it for my Steam Deck as well.
No, this is one, like I said, you definitely need to play it, because this is one you will just lose hours and hours of the day. And it's such a simple concept, too. It's literally just poker, but it's a
roguelike.
Yeah, it's a roguelike. Like, the jokers give you different multipliers and plus benefits to your chips. It's one of those, once the game starts spiraling out of control, it's really addictive and it's a lot of fun, but it's also really challenging and kind of frustrating at times, because it is very luck-based. This is a game where it's all about, you've just got to pick the right card at the right time, or you got to make the right choices at the right time, and you don't always know what those choices are, so...
I mean, you know me, though, man. Like, whenever it comes to roguelikes, I have to be careful, because I get addicted to any roguelike extremely easily.
Oh, yeah. No, there's
and
what's up?
My first run that I did of this game, I was laying in bed playing it on my phone, and I was like, "Oh, this is dangerous." I can already tell.
I think you sent me a text message saying, "I hate you for recommending this game." So
yeah, dude.
But no, this one, this is a ton of fun. But I'm with you, though. I'm one of those guys that I can lose a lot of time in a roguelike. One of these games that we're gonna talk about, I've lost thousands of hours to this game. So,
yep.
That is a dangerous game on there. But this is one I definitely think you definitely need to check out. Hell, I'll buy you a copy on PS5, man. Like, I want you to play this game. So. But that's going to be my first pick for indie. Local Thunk, I believe, is the name of the guy who created the game. He has single-handedly stolen a lot of time from people's lives. But thank you for your contribution here, man. This game is a ton of fun. I can't recommend this game enough. So
a round of applause for Local Thunk.
But cool. So that's going to be my first pick, man. What's going to be your first pick?
So my first pick is actually a game that, whenever it comes to indie games, because indie games have been around for a while now, but we're just starting to see a boom in them in recent years. But this is a game that helps start that boom. And not only that, though, but it's one of my first indie games I ever played, and that is Shovel Knight by Yacht Club Games. Starting out on Kickstarter, they raised money to make this game, and they beat their goal by miles and miles, to the point that they ended up working on this game for years because of how much money they actually raised. So they ended up adding content for years. They ended up adding 3 more campaigns on top of the Shovel Knight campaign. They ended up making some spin-offs like Puzzle Dungeon. So Shovel Knight is their brand, and I can see why, because it is so much fun. It's a Mega Man-like, game, but I would say it's a mixture of Mega Man and DuckTales for the NES.
Nice.
And like any NES game, though, It has a difficulty curve, and you're going to get frustrated, but it has a lot of modern twists to it, though, and it is a absolutely fantastic 2D platformer. If you have not played it, I don't know what you've been doing with your life or what rock you've been living under. Definitely check out Shovel Knight, though.
Now, this one really kind of has that nostalgia hit for me, man. Like, I remember playing these games like this on my regular Nintendo, so seeing something like this brought back to life is definitely a blast from the past for me.
How much experience do you have with Shovel Knight?
I don't have a lot, to be honest.
Okay.
I have played a little bit of it, but I never, to be honest, I did not give this game a fair shake for sure. So.
Oh, go back, man! It's dirt cheap too. You can
Oh,
get
yeah.
a copy for cheap.
I'm pretty sure I still own this game, in all fairness.
You should definitely go back to it. It's a ton of fun, and it's not very long. It's a short adventure. You can get in and out pretty quickly. So.
Okay, now that would be one I would like to play. I mean, this is that, like I said, this is that childhood kind of nostalgia for me, man. Like the old school, like Castlevanias and, you know, Mega Man, like you said, stuff like that. So.
Yep. So, all right, man. Well, what's your second choice?
Sorry, I'm just enjoying sitting here watching that trailer. So, but so yeah, so my next choice is going to be one that's a little bit, again, it's a more modernized. It's been out, like, how long's this one been out for?
It came out in 2017.
Good Lord, man, has it really been that long?
The DLC came out much later, but that's a different story entirely.
That is true. But this is a game you and I were both very excited for. Like the moment it got announced, I remember we were texting back and forth about this one. But Cuphead has been hands down one of the best indie games that we've seen in a more modern setting. But the greatest thing about it is it has such a classic look to it. Like, this looks like an old school Saturday morning cartoon, man. Like, everything about this has that Saturday morning cartoon, but the game plays perfectly. The controls feel great. The boss fights, all of them, just everything is perfect with this game. I genuinely don't think I had a complaint on this game.
I definitely don't.
I guess the only complaint I had is they took forever releasing the DLC. Like, they definitely took their time with it. But I loved this game, man. I mean, we were all about this when it came out, because I remember they had all the merch and the pop figures and all that stuff, and we were buying that stuff up left and right, too.
Oh, yeah, dude. And I remember, so the first time I played this game, I bought it on Steam, and I did not hook a controller up for whatever reason, I don't know, but I beat Cuphead on keyboard.
Yep.
And it was one of the most grueling experiences of my life. I'm sure there's plenty of people that play Cuphead on keyboard nowadays, but at the time though, it was a monster, man. And for me personally, it's one of my greatest gaming accomplishments. if you haven't played Cuphead, and you're watching this episode and you're watching this trailer and you want to give it a shot, do not play it on keyboard. Okay. Use a controller. This game is highly frustrating on keyboard.
And I do want to throw this out too. This is a co-op game. Like, this is a phenomenal co-op game. Like, to me, this is one of the best, like, co-op side scrollers we've seen in a long time.
Oh yeah, and I'm really excited to see what MDHR?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do next, especially since they finally got Cuphead's DLC out, which I still have yet to play. I need to. But
Same.
yeah, they've shown that whatever they make, they're going to put all the love and passion that they can possibly muster into it.
No, agreed. I would love to, like, I'm kind of, like, now that you mention it, yeah, I haven't heard anything from the studio, so.
Yeah, I don't know if they're currently working on a project or not, because they've been pretty quiet. Let's see.
I have to look into that, but yeah, no, this is such a fantastic game. Like, I love everything about the characters, Cuphead, Mugman, like just all of the characters, all of them are very unique. They all have their own personality. It's just, man, I loved everything about this game. My wife and I played this one together, and as frustrating as this game can be, it is absolutely a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it.
So, as recent as 2023, MDHR was hiring people for their new game. New game has, yet to have been said what it is. So
Okay. So they're working on a project, just haven't announced it yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's gonna be my next one. What's your next pick for best indie games?
So next up is another classic in the indie game atmosphere, I guess you could say, and that is going to be Bastion. And this was the first game made by Supergiant Games, and if that name sounds familiar to you, that's because they are known for Hades nowadays, and
Yep.
Hades 2. But this was where they started, though, was with Bastion, and Bastion is just a ton of fun. It oozes charm, man. It is. The art style is great. The narrator with his Southern Colonel Sanders draw, commenting on everything that you do, it just sticks with you and it gets in your head. And not only that, though, but it's a roguelike, so it's addictive to play, too. And you can revisit it so many times and find something new. It's a ton of fun.
And so now I haven't played Bastion.
What?
Yeah. So I was thinking this was a different game. When you said Bastion, I was thinking it was something else, and I can't. It's driving me nuts now because I can't think of what the game was.
You haven't played it, though?
I take that back. I played a little bit of it. I did because it was free on Xbox at one point.
Yes,
and I did play it. Oh my God, what is that game? It looks just like this. It's a side scroller. It was on Xbox, and you were kind of like creating a painted world.
Missplosion Man?
No.
Okay.
It was made by one guy, and you're basically going around collecting keys and creating like a painted world, and it was originally on the Xbox.
Doesn't ring a bell, man.
Once you hear it, you'll know it.
Braid.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Different game.
But yes, no, Braid was. It makes me think of Braid. That was such a good game. But yeah, sorry, getting back to this topic. Yeah, I played a little bit when it came out, because I remember it was free on Xbox for a little bit, and I played it. I just didn't dig too much into it. So this is one that I do need to give more attention to, though.
Oh, I definitely recommend that you should go back and try it again. It's it's where this studio got their roots. It's their first game. And
oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong. In some regards, it shows, but it still holds up to this day and gets overshadowed by its older brother now. So
no, but I mean, I can definitely see the where Hades' influence came from, though.
Oh yeah, and I mean from here, all they make is different styles of roguelikes. So because after this they made Transistor, and then they made Pyre, and then we got the golden boy Hades, and now they're currently working on Hades 2. So.
Yep. Nope. I definitely see it. So. But,
oh yeah.
No, that's one I do need to dig into. This next one I definitely dug into for sure. This is one I easily put hundreds of hours in. I actually think I broke the game at one point because I just had infinite money because I was just doing so much in this game. But Stardew Valley is hands down one of the best indie games, man. If you want a game that'll just let time pass by while you're just enjoying kind of an easy style game, this is it for sure, man. Create your own farm, you raise, you do everything. You raise animals, you plant, you actually can set like sprinklers up so your crops get watered automatically. You can lay out your farm however you want it. This was just such an easy, enjoyable game. Did you ever dig into this one?
Man, so I own Stardew, and I have played it. However, I don't see the appeal. Maybe I just haven't put enough time into it. I don't hate it or anything. I don't understand. I don't see why everybody just foams at the mouth for this game. Even my wife loves playing this game. She mods it.
Okay. Fair.
She mods it, and she loves it to death, and she plays it on the Steam Deck and everything, and I just don't see it, man. And maybe
fair.
I just haven't maybe I just haven't given it a fair shake. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it. I definitely know the impact that it has had on the indie game industry, and it did well enough that the creator of Stardew is getting to make a new game. He is working on Haunted Chocolatier currently.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, no,
I'm aware.
this game is just one of those that I fell in love with. Like it's one of those. It's a simple game. It's not anything that's like super high stakes or super invested. It's a life sim game. It's basically you got to make friends. You're trying to save this town. You can fall in love and have a relationship and get married and all that stuff if you really want to. Like, I don't know. There's just so much more to it. So.
What is this rainbow dimension?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a newer patch to the game, so I'm not familiar with that section either.
You're over here like, oh, I gotta get back into
it. There's more stuff. I need it. So
they just straight up went to Star Road from Super Mario World.
All right. Yep, I got to get back into it. So.
All right, sold.
But yeah. This is one, like I said, I know it's not for everybody. I know you're not big into the life sim stuff, so I could see why this wouldn't instantly catch your attention. But man, I put so much time into this game. I loved this game. This was a lot of fun, so.
I'll have to give it another fair shot. I have it on Steam. I have it on PlayStation. I don't know what it is, man. I just don't know.
Fair enough.
They just threw that baby in the air in the trailer too. So.
Well, I mean, technically the crib did. It ejected the baby up and they caught him, thankfully, so.
It's just hit the side of the crib, launches baby.
All right, so that's my pick. What's your next one?
So my next one, this is actually a game that I feel like a lot of people don't remember was an indie game, and understandably so, because it has reached the height of popularity similar to how Supergiant did with Hades, and that is going to be Outlast, the first Outlast. Now we have Outlast 2 and we have Outlast Trials. Everybody knows what Outlast is now, but this is where it all started, and it was an indie game.
Yep.
And it is fantastic. Whenever it comes to horror games it's just a walking simulator and there's not really any combat, I wouldn't say I don't like them, but I'm not the biggest fan of them just because I get pretty bored by them. But Outlast is an adrenaline rush from beginning to end, and it is just a ton of fun. If you haven't played Outlast, I would be shocked if there's anybody out there who hasn't played Outlast, unless you just don't like horror games. Then I can understand that.
No, fair. So. But no, again, I could see why people would forget this was an indie title, man, because I remember when the first one came out, it was a small studio. It was just a few people bringing this in, but it was a huge deal, man. When this one came out, like, everybody was playing this, and I kind of feel like this game really, I don't want to say it was the first, but I really feel like it pioneered the walking horror simulators. Like, it kind of showed what people could really do with these games, and it really sparked an interest after this one.
See, in my opinion, Amnesia started it, and then Outlast cemented it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Amnesia, like, I'm on the fence about Amnesia. I want to like it more.
Dude, Amnesia's too boring, in my opinion.
It's, like, I feel like it's good, but I feel like I need it to, it doesn't hook me instantly. It's a very long draw to the game.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I need to give it another shot. I have Amnesia and I have Machine for Pigs, which was not made by the same studio.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good it is. And then they also have made other games such as Soma, and they made Amnesia: The Bunker and another Amnesia that came out not too long ago.
Now Soma was really good.
Is Soma good?
Soma was really good. I bought that on a whim one night and just played it all night. Like, I was like, you know what? I want a new game. I downloaded that one off the PlayStation Store. I think I had it free on Plus or something. And I was just like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And I the entire game in one sitting, man. Like, I could not stop playing it. It was so good.
I'll have to check it out then. And honestly, I do need to give Amnesia another shot. It's just like I said, anytime I try to get into it, maybe I'm just not in the right frame of mind, but I just get so bored with it that I just drop it.
Nope. I hear you on that, man.
So, but what you got next for us, Andy?
So for my next one, this one's an older one. I actually forgot about it, but it was I say originally, it was ported to the PlayStation Vita at one point.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yep. So, but this is an older indie game, and this one's called Papers, Please. Have you ever messed with Papers, Please?
Oh, dude, you can leave this in the video, but this just scared the crap out of me. I just saw out of the corner of my eye in the window over here the Amazon driver was walking up the steps to drop off a package. Scared the crap out of me.
Is it your bed?
No, it's not the bed.
But did you ever mess with Papers, Please?
I have never played it. I watched Markiplier play it.
All right.
So that's I don't really know too much about it. All I know is you're green lighting people to come into the country, or you're telling them to go back to their own. That's all I know.
Nope, you play a border crossing agent. And basically you live in this country and the government is just controlling every ounce of your freedom, essentially. So they're basically, if you don't do your job correctly, like, you'll go to jail, your family goes to jail, your family doesn't eat, they'll get deported, so you've got to do your job and do it well. If you want to have food, if you want to have electricity, if you want to have heat, you got to make sure you do your job and do it right.
But you have to sacrifice your morals to do so, I'm guessing.
Well, not necessarily morals, but it's like there are people that are trying to get in and trying to smuggle drugs or weapons, and like on the trailer,
Yeah.
And you've got to. There are people that'll try and bribe you to get in. There's a secret organization that's trying to get people taken care of. So you got to kind of find that balance of what's right, what's wrong. It's crazy the amount of detail. I love this game, man. This is a game I could put this on my Steam Deck and I could play hours of this one. This one's just a ton of fun to enjoy, man.
I don't even own it. I'll have to get it on Steam and just mess around with it on the Steam Deck, because it seems like a good Steam Deck game.
It absolutely is. Like, this one, it's just goofy. It's another time sink kind of game, but it's just a lot of fun.
Okay, no, I'll definitely have to check it out. It's one that I've been wanting to. But you said this is an older one. When did this game come out? Because in my mind, it's not that old.
Yeah, no. Let me see when it originally came out. But it was original. Like I say, originally, it did come out on the PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Papers, Please. This says it came to Steam August 8th of 2013.
Really? I didn't know it. I didn't realize it was that old.
Yep.
So it's a 12-year-old game at this point?
Yep. August 8th, 2013 is when it originally released.
I didn't even realize that. Okay. I'm behind then. I gotta check it out at some point. So.
But yeah, this one's a lot of fun, man. It's goofy. You got to deal with all sorts of things. I think it has up to, I want to say it had like 14 different endings or something crazy. Like, it's got a bunch of different outcomes to it. So.
I'll definitely have to check it out. I've been interested in it, and you speaking about it just now has, kind of rekindled that fire.
It was good, man. This was one I always wanted to pick up on the Vita. Like, I think it would play well on the Vita, the little handheld. But now copies of this game are selling for insane money, so it's like I'm good.
Bet.
So, but that's gonna be my pick there. So, what you got?
So I've been kind of talking about some older ones. Because Outlast is the newest one I've talked about so far, and I think it even came out in 2013.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is actually going to be more recent. It came out in 2023, and that is Corn Kid 64. And
it does not look like it came out in 2023.
And that's corn with a C. Corn, as in the food. But yeah, Corn Kid 64, it is a homage to the 3D platformer, specifically from the Nintendo 64 and the PS1 days. There's my nightmare right there.
I was gonna say, there's your giant fish underwater.
See, this is exactly what I was talking about in our previous episode. Or I guess it would be our future episode. I don't know whenever these are going to release. But I spoke about it at one point in one episode. I have a fear of water areas in video games because developers tend to put terrifying creatures in them, and there we go. That's the reason that I have a fear of them right there. But This game is all the best parts of Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie. It has some elements of Crash Bandicoot in it and Spyro. It is a mix and match of so many different fantastic games, and it really just delivers on all fronts. It's a short experience, but I think that's part of the charm to it, because you can just hop into it at any given point. And of course, it's a 3D platformer collectathon, so it's very similar to Banjo-Kazooie in that you have stuff to get, stuff to collect in order to progress through the game.
Oh no, I get super Banjo-Kazooie vibes looking at that.
Oh yeah, and it's definitely has a weird sense of humor to it. It's if Banjo-Kazooie was the young and bright-eyed, younger brother, Corn Kids is the angsty teenage older brother who sits in his room and plays Halo all day and drinks Mountain Dew.
There you go.
So, but yeah, if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. It's dirt cheap too. I think it's like $10 on Steam, and I believe it's actually on Nintendo Switch as well. So.
I was gonna ask, what platforms is it on? I would assume Steam, but
yep, Steam and Nintendo Switch. So
okay.
I hope that they release a PlayStation copy at some point, because I like to collect trophies.
There you go.
I would definitely love if Limited Run did a run of this game, because I would buy it again. It is fantastic.
There you go, Limited Run. You're getting another call out. So we need a Fox Hunt remake, and now we need a Corn Kids 64 remake. So come on, help us out.
Yep, come on, Limited Run. You're letting me down right now. You already let me down because the standard edition of Legacy of Kain collection, sold out before I could get it. You should reopen that up, because I'm upset about it.
Well, actually, so I did find out on a side note, it's not a numbered release for Limited Run. They're just redistributing that for them, another studio or developer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's why it's sold out. There's a limited run of them, but it's not Limited Run's thing.
Well, so what you're saying is there's a chance that the developer that they're publishing the physical copy for could be like, oh, this did really well, let's make more.
Possibly.
I hope so, man, because I'm so upset I missed out on it.
But yeah, that's not a numbered release for them. It's not something they're printing. They're redistributing for another the developer.
Well,
so
I know it's the same company that did the Tomb Raider trilogy. And the Tomb Raider trilogy we got to see on store shelves. So maybe Legacy of Kain, now that they're realizing, people want it, that they'll do the same. So
there's definitely an appeal for it, so I can see it happening.
Yeah.
But
so what you got? What you got next, Andy?
My next one, this is a big one in my opinion, because I think this is one of the bigger indie games that have come out. I know everyone's obsessed with games like Minecraft and stuff like that. Like Minecraft's actually one of the best-selling games of all time. Like that is one that just sells nonstop. But I think this is a better game personally, and that is Terraria. 505 made this 2D kind of Minecraft-esque world where you fully, it's a 2D world, but you can dig, scavenge for supplies, you can build whatever you want. I loved this game, man. I almost platinumed this on the PS3 when it came out. That's how much time I put into this game.
Man, something tells me too that to platinum this game, it takes a lot of hours.
Oh yeah. So. And I put a lot of hours in this game too when it came out. And I know they've been patching it and adding more and more updates, so there's even more stuff than what I remember. But I love this game. Like looking at the trailer, you can just see the scope of what you can do. The huge homes and stuff you can build. What I loved about this is the bosses. The boss fights actually feel like proper boss fights. When you beat a boss, it unlocks better materials and stuff to find in the world, so you can find better, or you can make better weapons and armor and all sorts of different things. Like I couldn't stop playing this game, and the best part about it is you can decide how big of a map you want, and if you do the biggest map out of all of them, there's just so much to explore. You'll never know what you're gonna find. You can find random weapons and armor that do just the most ridiculous things that, just hidden away in a cave somewhere underground. So I like this game a lot better than Minecraft personally. I did see in the trailer it's now up to 8-player co-op, which is kind of cool. But man, this is one like I just watching this trailer makes me want to dig back into it again. So
Are we going to have to jump in this one together and try it out at some point?
I mean, I'm down for sure. Did you ever play Terraria?
I have never played Terraria, so I don't even own it, so I could pick up a Steam copy at some point.
There you go. I do own it on Steam, so I put my time on my PlayStation file. So if we played this together, we'd both be starting square one.
Okay.
But I would totally be down. This would be a ton of fun to play. This would be a good series we could do for sure. But man, this game is just ridiculous. It's over the top. But it scratches that creative itch for me, man. If I want to, if we want to build a house or just make something ridiculous or go fight a boss, like there's objectives to do, which is what I like, which is what bores me with Minecraft, in my opinion. There's not really objectives. I know there are bosses and things you can do, but I don't know. I feel like you have to make those happen instead of just there is a boss or there is, XYZ you've got to complete. So
I mean, you're not wrong. That's a pretty fair description. So.
But yeah, that would be my next pick, man. This is one of the best indie games that has come out, in my opinion. Like, there's definitely tons of indie games nowadays. Like, everybody's making indie games. You can find them on your cell phone. I mean,
we've even talked about doing it. So.
Yeah, so like everybody's doing indie games, but this would be kind of when we're talking the pantheon of the best. This is a game that's definitely in that conversation, in my opinion.
Okay. But yeah, definitely we'll have to run it together at some point, man.
I agree. So what's your next one, man? Where are you going for your next one?
So now this is how you can really tell that we're getting into my personal favorites, because for these last two, these are both ones that I actually would like to have tattoos of at some point in time. So that's how you know I love them to death, because I want to commemorate them on my body for the rest of my life. And that is Hollow Knight by Team Cherry.
Oh yeah.
And what can I say about this game that has not already been said? It is a fantastic Metroidvania with a beautiful art style, tons of fun to play. Definitely has, a bit of a learning curve to it, but once you start to get a feel for it, it's easy to pick up. You still have hard boss battles and everything, but nothing is the game's fault. If you mess up, it's your fault. And it's fantastic. I love it to death. I just boot it up randomly just to play it from the beginning all the time. It's fantastic. I don't know what else to say about it.
I love how you just came up with the nicest way of saying get good.
Yeah, basically. Because like I said, I mean, you can tell by the trailer there's a lot going on.
Oh yeah.
And especially whenever you start doing like some of the tournaments in the game and everything. Yeah, they can get difficult. They can test your patience, but man, it's so rewarding whenever you win, and it's just so much fun to play.
No, this is one, like I said, we were talking about this earlier. I dug a little bit into this one. I didn't put a whole lot of time. With the time I was playing it, I didn't want to invest the amount of time I knew the game was going to take. And I never got back into it, so this is one I do want to check out. I love this art style, man. I love the 2D Metroidvania, kind of big boss Souls-like, kind of combat to it. Like, this is something that definitely catches my attention. So I do want to pick this up.
Good thing is you have plenty of time to play it, because Silksong isn't coming out anytime soon.
Sadly, even though you've been asking for that one for quite a few years.
Oh, I'm chomping at the bit for Silksong, man. They really showed their worth with Hollow Knight, and I'm so excited for Silksong.
Yep. No, and honestly, I'm gonna dig in to see if I can find a physical edition for this one, because I'd rather have a physical edition for sure. But I do want to play this one. This looks like something I would enjoy.
You can get one for pretty cheap. I think I got a PS4 copy of this game for $30.
Yeah, no, I don't. This doesn't seem like one that's like super rare or anything. So I gotta just get lucky and find one. So that's gonna be the catch.
Yep, that is going to be the catch.
But all right, so now we're wrapping this up, guys. So we are down to our final two. Best indie games of all time. Now, before we dig into these, let me ask you, Chandler, do you feel that you're ending on your best of the best when it comes to indie games?
Oh, absolutely. For my last choice, whenever we get there, it is my favorite indie game. Not only that, though, it is one of my favorite games of all time, just in general.
Fair. I'm in the exact same boat. Like, I haven't played your pick, but I don't think you've really played my pick either.
I haven't dived deep into it, but I have dabbled in it.
Okay.
So.
Because I will say, hands down, I think this is one of the best indies of all time. For me personally, just my 2 cents, I'm easily rounding a couple thousand hours in this game. Like, I mean, I have 100%ed this game. Like, I have platinum to this game. I can't say enough good things about this game. And I promise you, every time I play this game, with the thousands of hours I have in it, every single time is different. And that to me is what really makes this game special. But I have to say, The Binding of Isaac is probably one of the best indie games of all time. Like, this is one of those games, like I said, it's never the same. Every single time I play it, it's a different game. The characters are different. The synergies of what I've picked up and what I'm doing is different. There's nothing I can say. Like, I love this game. Edmund McMullen,
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of his work. Anytime he does something, I'm very interested in it. Nicholas, I don't think they partner with each other anymore. I'm not really sure on that. But they did phenomenal work. I know they just did online multiplayer for The Binding of Isaac, so hopefully it'll breathe a little bit more life into it. And I know he's working on a new game called Mugenics, which is another.
Hasn't he been working on Mugenics for years now?
Oh yeah, but it's officially an alpha. They're alpha testing the game. And it's still in a 2025 release date. So we're hoping to see it sometime later this year.
Okay.
But yeah, this is, man, like, Binding of Isaac is one of those games, like, I don't think I will ever get tired of. I will play this game over and over and over. I still have 2 save files I need to complete on my main files. So, like, and I will do it because I love this game so much. Do you have any insight on this game? I know you said you dug into it a little bit, so
most of my experience with Binding of Isaac was actually vanilla Isaac and having to play it in a web browser.
Oh, so you played old school Java. Nice.
Yeah. Whenever I say vanilla, I mean vanilla Isaac. So that's the most experience I actually have. So whenever I did eventually hop in, because I hopped into it about a year ago, because you were always like, you need to play it, you need to play it, you need to play it. So I hopped into it a little bit not long ago, and there's so many updates to it now. It's nowhere near close to the same game it was whenever I played it. It's a little overwhelming, I'm not going to lie, because there's just so much to this game now that was not there before.
No, this game, especially if you've played from the old Flash version, like, it is definitely different. Like, there's a couple updates for sure. But yeah, this is one I would like for you to pick up. I think we could have a lot of fun doing the co-op runs on this one now. My wife and I played this co-op. She's been running it solo on her Switch because I was playing this game so much. So we've definitely put some time into this one. But I think, hands down, this is one of the best when it comes to indie games. I don't think we'll ever see anything to this level, in my opinion. So.
No, that's fair. So it was definitely ambitious, and they have added so much to this game. It is a gold standard for indie games. I don't have a lot of time in this game, but I can attest to that.
Yeah, I know when it comes to dungeon roguelikes, this is kind of the standard that they're shooting for. This is kind of what people want. I mean, I remember when Enter the Gungeon came out, and a lot of people were comparing the two, and I played Gungeon, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I did this. So
yeah,
it's still a good game. Like, Gungeon was actually a lot of fun, but there's just something about the characters and the story. The story is ridiculous in this game.
Yeah.
But I love this so much more. So this would be my best of the best. So, but what's so that's my peak. This is my best indie game. What's yours gonna be? Where's your stance at?
So my peak indie game is Death's Door. I'm not going to beat around the bush on this one or anything. We're just going to hop right into it. This game, and it's not that old of a game either. It came out in 2021. I have played it numerous times since then. The art style is fantastic. The gameplay is a ton of fun. It plays like a top-down Zelda, but I would say dialed back though. Not that there's not a lot to do. It's like a Zelda game, but it's also different from a Zelda game. But it is fantastic. The story is so good. It's such a bare bones story too. There's not much to it whatsoever, but just all the way the world, all the ways the world interconnects with one another and how everything relates back into life and death in this game is just fantastic. It is beautiful. It is poetry in a video game, and not to mention, but man, the soundtrack. Oh, the soundtrack to this game, I listen to it in my car sometimes on the way to work because the soundtrack, whoever composed it, they needed a pay raise for the soundtrack for this game because it is remarkable. And now you can see all the Zelda, influences I was talking about. So, but this is a game, it is my favorite indie game. It's also one of my favorite games ever made. I can hop into it at any given point and just love it to death, even though I know everything about it at this point. And not only that, though, but even after you finish the main story and everything, it has a pretty lengthy post-game as well that leads into a surprise ending. So, yeah, and it's an ending that, well, I'm going to go into a little bit spoiler territory, but I'm not going to outright spoil it. But the studio that made this game, this is their second game. So, if you want to get the best, shock and awe moment from the secret ending to Death's Door, you need to play their first game.
What was the first game?
Titan Souls.
Okay, I played Titan Souls. I do remember that.
Yep. So, if you want to get the best shock and awe moment of this game offers, you have to play Titan Souls before you play Death's Door.
So this is one I never actually played, but I bought it because you spoke so highly of it. I did I did pick up a copy of this, but I still haven't played it, and it just hit me like I did buy this. I forgot all about it. So this is one
you're missing out.
Oh yeah. Oh. No, this looks like something I would enjoy because I like those Zelda kind of top down. Like I like the Link's Awakening remake. I absolutely loved. So,
and I'll say this too: the best way I could describe this one gameplay wise is, like I said, it's very Zelda, but it's also very Souls-like in that, the enemies and the bosses hit heavy, and you got to be prepared.
It makes me think of a lot of Tunic. I don't know if you remember Tunic.
I own Tunic. I have yet to play it though.
That's a really good game too. That was actually really good.
So you played Tunic?
Mm-hmm. I didn't finish it. I didn't finish it, but I did play it, and what I did play, I was very impressed with.
I bought a physical copy. I just haven't played it yet.
No, that's one I do recommend at some point. But I do want to dig into this one. I think I own it on the Switch though.
Okay.
I would rather get my trophies for it, like everything else, but.
Oh yeah, no, I platinumed this game, and it's an easy platinum.
Okay.
You do have to do 2 runs of the game to platinum it, but honestly, technically, you could do it in 1 run, but this game's worth replaying anyway, so.
Yeah, no, like this is one I wouldn't mind checking out, and honestly, if it's good enough, I have no problem doing a second playthrough, so.
Oh yeah, Dude, I don't even know how many times I played through this game. I've lost count because I'll just boot it up randomly just to play it again because it is a ton of fun. And it's not the longest game either. You're not going to be sinking hundreds of hours into it. Hundreds of thousands of hours into it, like with Isaac, for example.
Yeah.
You're not even going to be sinking in hundreds of it like in Hollow Knight. It's a very straightforward game, but it is a ton of fun.
Okay. Well, there it is, guys. That is the list of our favorite indie games of all time. Not a lot of surprises. I mean, again, we talk about video games all the time, so like I'm not super surprised by a lot of the stuff we saw on those lists. But the real question is how did we do on that list, guys? Let us know down below. Did we choose well? Did we choose poorly? Was there something we missed? Let us know down below. Comment, share a video, share. Hell, if you've got any clips of some of your favorite indie games or something you've done in a really, or something, if you've done something really cool in an indie game that you want to share it down below. But as we wrap this up, Chandler, do you have anything else you want to dig into it before we say our goodbyes here?
No, but I'll go ahead and say my goodbye, though, if you're all right with that.
Go for it.
All right. So, but I'll say this, though. I know that there's going to be at least one person in the comments that's like, but where's Braid? So, or where's Fez?
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned Braid earlier, so.
Yeah, you did. So we didn't mention Fez until just now, though. So, but anyway, I mean, I don't really have anything much to say other than just the normal stuff. And that's thank y'all for watching. You know, remember to like, comment, subscribe. It definitely helps us out. Lets us know where the community engagement is. And, you know, definitely let us know which videos are your favorite because we can do more along the lines of what, you know, is beloved by y'all. So definitely let us know what some of your favorite things are that we have done so far. Let us know some of the things you'd like to see us do. We're working on other projects. They're kind of, you know,
slow roll.
Yeah, it's a slow roll. You know, Andy and I both work full-time jobs and we do this on the side. So, but we're getting there. And I know that, you know, not everybody just wants to listen to a podcast episode, and I understand that. So just, you know, let us know what else you want to see and bear with us.
Yep. No, we got a lot of different things going on, and we have definitely not, we can say we don't have a shortage of ideas, that's for sure.
No.
When it comes to stuff like that. But like he said, thank you, everybody. Let us know what you want to see down below. More importantly, don't forget to check us out every Friday on YouTube at noon. We're going to upload new episodes every time there. We finally have a TikTok at effin Uncultured. And then you can follow us on Twitter at friggin' Uncultured. You can follow us on Instagram. And you can follow us individually, too. I am your Madrigal, your _Madrigal. And I think yours is at Neon L Johns now. Is that correct?
So the only thing, so it's Neon Johns for everything except for YouTube. YouTube is Neon L Johns.
Okay. So that's confusing. So
yeah, I know, because YouTube wanted to be difficult. So,
of course.
And I don't know if I can go and change it on my socials or not. So
probably
I need
not.
to go check.
But you can follow us individually. You can follow us as a team. But every little support we appreciate, guys. So again, don't forget to follow us and check us out every Friday on YouTube. And more importantly, guys, let's keep it uncultured.